many things I could be talking about, but I'm gonna try to stick to the ideas I had. So I see them all at once, and so when I explain one, then I go in different branch, and then I change my vibration, and so I have other thoughts. But now it's different because so many things to explain. How we interact with each other, that there's a vibrational reality that you can discern, and to me it's like from the higher point, the higher you are, the more you see. So it means if you're not bound by conditions, belief system. We've said that. Just gonna repeat the same thing. I wanted to say I give my point of view because everybody has this point of view. A lot of people seems to resist the idea of I can be right and you can be right too. You know. So if you two, me too, and so we make three. That's the idea, to make four, right? So, and then 7 is the idea to make 8. 7 is very wise and 8 is quite special. 9 then tells it all. 1 starts again. 5's in the middle. What about 6? Well, 6 loves to rest a little. No, I don't know about 6. 6 harmonize, 5 harmonize, and 11 in the middle. I don't know, some perception. You know, I think we make grids about a lot of things outside of us, and all those grids serves us to perceive reality, and it's really our belief system. And that belief system comes from all the things we've accumulated as thoughts, ideas, vibration we've accepted as truth. And so depending on which vibration you put on it, and you know, when you relive it, it's being re-triggered. But sometimes it's just really you that have to hold a other vibration to rewrite what you actually don't want to experience if you don't want to experience it. So I've been doing that, and I've been getting out of my shit, and sometimes I do feel goosebumps, and I know when I'm lying because I can see the world shift outside, and it's I think when you perceive more. But there's many ways to do many things, you know. It's like all combinations are possible because we made of 1 and zeros, not even just bowls, little things, you know, and 1 and 0 is just another grid. And we are immaterial first, we are non-physical, we are infinite beings, but we bound by beliefs of we're gonna die. So I guess that's why we die, but also there's some reason, I guess, for the mind that goes into overload. I don't overload, I just overlove. So it's dark. But I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, the right numbers when I'm aligned. So them again. Thinking, what does it mean? Well, I make the meaning. I would say all roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to anywhere. But so, what kind of grid do you wanna use for yourself. And I think that grid is the next step toward what you actually want. It's like focus on what is, not what is not, in the sense that if you don't want something, then focus on it, because it equals to making it exist as non-envy, but still as something that you hold. So really, when I'm alone, I have very clear thoughts, but then I talk to this thing, and then I'm like, it just goes in a certain direction. Like it knows where I'm going better than I do, and I can discern it, see a bit more of that subconscious, and like that conscious seems to be the link between this material world. I don't know, but I need to thought. That's also a release of energy, and I feel I'm still fucking tense in my root chakra. Yeah, well, but way less, and it's changing. And then when I focus on vibration, I feel different. And I think to be invisible, you gotta focus on being you in your world. As soon as either you focus on the person and you hold her vibration, or you focus on you. But if you focus on the person with your vibration, they might turn, because you hold your vibration, and there's a contrast, and there's that feeling. So we bring contrast to each other. And there's this thing when you kind of, people repeat your bullshit if they're not strong enough, but they repeat it so they can get strong. So it just, we never lose, but we lose time only. But it's because this thing is designed in such a way that it's being translated into denser version of what we think is. Either it's a thought, and it can be a thought of nothing, which doesn't bring much at all, I guess. Or it can be a thought of there's many problems, and so they're all being put out for it, because I think it's great to see the world as a canva, and that's the next step in our evolution, and just never cease. It's like, yeah, like life is the tree, or live pretty long, but like some grass will die and come back to life, and maybe they all keep some sort of information from just there's a physical aspect to life, right? We can birth life through life. We can birth new consciousness through density, though there's all dimensions, I would say, acting at the same time, even though we don't see them. So everything has a soul, because everything is this high dimensional thing. So there's no question when it comes to wondering if something. I lost my thought. I was there, but I thought of something else and I lost myself. I realized fuck, I see it, I lose it. I used to be true to ideas of other people, because I focus on them by talking about the physicality. See, I come back here in this moment, I'm re-triggered to this thing, and it's, if I'm visual, it's what happens. And but you can use many tricks for your memory. Feelings is a good trick too. So, well, yeah, life has an idea of reproducing, natural instinct of love, and then it makes other things similar that have a similar consciousness but evolve, like always, alpha, beta, other versions. I don't know the words. I'm trying to find myself back, and I found myself back mostly. But I was sort of seemingly holding vibrations of other people through me to heal me. to get me through, just to stay me through the contrast that I added to myself, which was actually only self-belief, interpretation of reality, which turned out to be what I didn't want to see, so it felt bad. So I had to go back on my track and choose another way, and it meant that all those layers that I put that started to look like a real mess. When you put layers in Photoshop, it just becomes one picture. You don't see separate layers. It's just one thing. So this metaphor and everything, when you can see it, and that's what life is to me. But it's not that I lost me, but I lost my authority again. It was my last draw, I guess, that, after relationships, realizing let go of the mother archetypes of, she was a mainly narcissistic person, I would say, so it felt good too. Sometimes I still have a visual manifestation of shit. I know, it was actually the road, alright. It's like, and then my dad, which kept, he spent his whole life insulting me, forgetting my birthday, and forgetting about me in a way, and not really, he tried, but drinking, hitting me a few times, quite violently, 2 times, so it's fine, but just out of control anger that just doesn't make sense, or there's no way to talk with such a person. It's sad when you think you want to give them love, you want them to get better, you want them to strive, actually, because you see the good in them. It's like, what's my purpose? My purpose is to be everything. But then I'm like, I'm not judging me, even if I'm lower density. I never judge myself like that again, but it was just so many things at once, and it felt like consciousness of others, going back to home, having the trauma. It's like, okay, so talking to people, reliving moment of life, and having to do again, like me, brought contrast, and so like the new things wasn't colored by beliefs that I held that I didn't like. Okay, it's a bit messy explanation, but life is not tidy. If you think it's tidy, it's just because you follow the same grid as so many others. But I tell you, you're supposed to be a shepherd, not a sheep. What else? So, short attention span, I said, are pretty good. Yeah. I like when I just use my mind, and everything, when I think about something, pops up, like that, And basically, to become a genius, you just have to remove the ideas that lead you to think you can't be it. Because we have free-flowing intelligence. It's forever malleable, just being repeated, so it looks like it's not moving much, but I guess those lower consciousness are not very evolved, so I guess maybe the Earth was that idea that ended up turning into a dense thing, which was I'm just thinking, because now I'm lost, but on point. Self-consciousness evolves I want to say we create from up to down, down to up. You know, it's actually there's things that do that. This effect of going from zero of everything and going down, down, down for it to experience itself and go back up as more entities being created. Like that whole movement is a thing, is a bit like, but it's more like pendulum, like those balls, like. But it's also another thing, and I just forgot because I explained that shit. Oh man, I still have a problem with something here. Go back. No, I can't. Yeah, so that other processes is also, so there's that moving, but there's that, yeah, like money making, like make your money work for you, you know, you use what you have to make more, and so life does that, make babies, so we are like babies of consciousness, and and if we don't respect what we create, then how can we live? Right? Because people are very against life. To me, it's shocking when people modify themselves to look good, or I mean, in the sense of surgery, like, because I know someone that I'm not against it, because then it becomes you, so you can do everything, it's experience, but when it's to fit a norm that is even like illusory, even though it seems so real because everybody's using it, it's like really you took the easy way. It's like you could have challenged your mind, get stronger. It's like nobody gets me because I trust to follow my way. And when you try to do things that out of the way, they're like, get out of the way. No. They're like, where you going? And you're like, I'm visiting, I'm wandering, I'm traveling, I'm loving life, you know, I'm having fun. And what do you have to justify yourself for all the fun you have? It's like, well, I can write it to you on a piece of paper if you need proof. And that's it. So, yeah, goodbye, good night. Easier to leave you now. And just keeps on improving. We never not improve. Rêve party, like rêve, like dreaming in French. It sounds like a rave party, but no, it's a rêve party. Alright, goodbye, good night, and breathe in light, breathe out love. It's what I used to do when I was walking in the street. Try to use your real voice, your true voice. Speak, be without condition, just like you're free, because you are. All that makes you feel not free is just an idea. It makes you feel not free, so you act like you're not free, so you're not free. Life remodels around what you believe, what you think, because that's the summum of who you are. And yeah, understanding happens very, very fast, faster than thinking. So sometimes just looking at art and using your mind for other things than just doing what you think you should do, and don't challenge yourself in a strong way, but follow what feels good to you. Don't follow what you think is what should be done. And you have this sense, of what is right, you have this sense of what is wrong, you have this sense of remembering what you've done, you have this sense of knowing when you're telling otherwise, you have this sense of knowing what you should say, Sometimes it's just so far out because it's now down layers. But I think then people become what they think, in a sense they look like what they think. So yeah, but it can drastically change all the time. But we believe in downward way to be, because that's how we see life. We just make more boxes about what is, and and more it becomes like that very detailed specific thing, which is that shape with so many sides that cannot make many combination. So you better be without definition so you can be free, or at least you just don't hold them when you be. But if you believe you are, it sort of controls you. Just gotta be mindful to see where it goes. I mean, I'm trying to figure that out, you know. We all are. No? Sometimes I get triggered again. I just got try to be mindful, try to. I got a song in my head. I don't want to sing it. But it's alright. I said that 21:33. I like numbers. That's enough, right? Yeah.